Hi, everybody. This is just stay-at-home grandma, and I'm just coming in to tell you, give you an update on everybody in my family. I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm not. Uh, I've been crying on and off, but um, for different reasons, for different people calling and things like that, and whatnot. I talked to his father today, and his father was shaken yesterday, but completely hysterical today. So, hi, Jilly Bean. Hi, Jilly Bean. How you doing? So, anyhow, I'll tell you everything that happened in a minute, but I just want to give you an update on everything for right now. They're going to have a memorial service. Hello, Vera. They're going to have a memorial service. We're not going to have a funeral because we're going to cremate him. Somehow or other, he wanted to go to give his body to science, but they because I'm in another state, I had to call anyway, but it was too late because the body starts to break down, and it was like 12 hours or something like that. I think he got like 5 hours or something like that to give thing. I don't know, but he's in another state. So by the time that we did all the paperwork and stuff like that, it would be completely broken down. So hey, Edward Smart, how you doing? And Uniquely Lavish, hi, how are you? Um, but anyway, so we're gonna have him cremated. So now we've got to do. I'm okay, Uniquely Lavish. I'm hurt. But I'm gonna make He was sick. Um, and that's why I came in to tell you all. So, because you're all my friends, even though I might not meet you, we are friends. We talk about all of our problems, our desires, what we want, and everything. And he was sick. He's been sick for 2 years. He had diverticulitis, and that's hey, Mobs. Hi. Yes, Mob. Mobs, I mailed your package today. Well, my granddaughter mailed it today. Frugal Mama, hello. He was sick. He's been sick for about 2.5 years. I think that Jilly Bean, too. Was it two? It was about 2.5 years, right? Yes, thank you, Adrian. And he was sick. He had diverticulitis, and they operated on him the first time, and so that he has a like something happens with the bowels or something like that, and they break. I know, I know, Jilly Bean. And so he had to have an operation, which means that they had to reverse everything. They put him in a bag and all that other kind of stuff. So that was the start of it. And my son was a 6 tall, very you know proud man, and he was telling me but that he didn't like it and blah 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 blah, and he was just completely devastated because he said the bag broke once when he was in the supermarket shopping with his girlfriend, and he was like embarrassed. And I said, well, you can't be embarrassed for that because my mother had the same operation. However, my mother would have been the one I would have thought that would not have survived it, but she did. But there were other complications. At anyway, they operated on it, put it back in and everything together, but his stomach and everything never worked right. Never worked right. When he would complain of stomach pains and things like that. And he didn't do a lot of complaining to me, nor did he do to his father, because his father had no clue when I talked to him that he was as sick as he was. So, and he never would ask for anything. Yeah, he never, Jilly Bean knows because Jilly Bean's a friend of his. He never recovered from the second surgery. you know, and he kept getting thinner and thinner, and just weaker and weaker. And when I looked at a picture of him and his granddaughter in October, they went out trick or treating for Halloween, and I looked at him and I'm saying he's just not good. And I told him, I said, well, why don't you come here? Hello, cousin, how are you? You can still call me, Vern. Um, yeah, yeah, they did take part of his colon, so that started it. So when they operated on it, like I said, they put everything back together and everything like that. But somehow or other, he just did not recover from it. It just didn't recover. What picture on Instagram? Mirror Sandy. Say hi to everybody, Mirror Sandy. And so, anyway, Thursday. Now, the thing is, I was in my mind, I was supposed to call him, but my husband just came home from the hospital and there were people in and out Thursday. So, as I'm letting out the last person Thursday, I was saying, "Oh, well, I'll call him now." And as the phone rang, and I didn't answer it the first time because I was still seeing somebody out. Then, yeah, that which one I'm talking about. Mirror Sandy is my granddaughter, and so you saw the picture. So the phone rang, and I didn't answer it. When I came back into the kitchen, I noticed that it was his girlfriend. Well, I knew something was wrong because his girlfriend does not call me. She texts me. And she doesn't call on the phone. She's like me. She texts me and she writes me on Facebook. She says good morning to me, whatever, whatever. And yeah, yeah. And anyway, um, it was his girlfriend, and she said, what are you doing? And I said, I am just letting somebody out. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, I got something to tell you. Where's your husband? And I said, he's upstairs in his room. And she said, well, you probably need to get him. And I said, no, because he just came home from the hospital. I'm not going to bother him. And he had just said, oh, okay. He just came home from the hospital and he's resting right now. So she said, well, you can't be by yourself. And I said, yeah, what is it? And I already knew. I looked at him that October. I talked to him last Saturday. A mutual friend of my son and Robin, she talked to him Monday, and she was saying that he didn't sound good and stuff like that. Well, she told me this after the fact, but apparently he did his laundry. Okay. He, sat down in his little chair because he did not live with his girlfriend. He lived with a roommate. And when the roommate came in, she said he was unresponsive. And she called the paramedics and they worked on him for almost 2 hours and they could not get him back. They couldn't resuscitate him back. So she called his girlfriend and his girlfriend sat with him until they came and took him to the funeral home. So his heart stopped. So I think he had a mild heart attack, but there was nothing that, we don't know everything yet because the coroner hasn't sent us the papers and stuff like that. Okay, I will, Vern. Um, I think that I knew, you kind of know, a mother knows, okay? And he was unrestful. He was in pain all the time. And, he never really complained to me, but I knew. So the one thing that I do know is that he is now in peace. He is now in peace. He did a Betty White on us because Betty White died 2 weeks before her birthday. He did too. His birthday would be the 24th of February. And he would have been 52. But I know, and my ex-husband was telling me that he was talking about now he couldn't work and, um, and stuff like that. And he didn't like being on whatever. Yeah, Mira, he really did pull a Betty White on us. Okay, you know what? My son was always a jokester. I mean, he was a serious guy at work and whatever. Yes, okay. He was a serious guy. Hey, Big Beard, Big Daddy Beard, how are you? He was a serious guy at work because he had his own business, but he was always a jokester. So I can see him. I can see him. Thank you, Eric Massa. I can see him doing that. You know, because I think on his face there was no look of pain. She said. So I wasn't there. I don't know. All I know is that he's at peace now. He's not hurting. He's not suffering because for the last 2 weeks I have been between my husband being sick, you know, and he was always joking. Hmm. Hmm. And he was always happy, even as a kid. I mean, he did lots of things that kids do, but to be perfectly honest with you, with his sister and him, I started out with his sister and him, and then I got um other kids. I adopted two other kids after that. But he was always joking, he was always happy, and you know, he loved food. So he would come on a lot when we were cooking and stuff like that. And a lot of people have met him on here, through he had his own YouTube channel, which was Paranormal Hood. And I would go on. Lots of times people didn't know I was on, but I was always going on listening and supporting him as much as I could. Because, like I said, they went until late, and I go to bed. You know. Hey, Diaz, how are you? Thank you, thank you. But you know, like I said, he was a good guy. I mean, he did things I probably don't even know about, but he had his own business. He had a security business and stuff like that. Um, like I said, he loved to cook, and ever since he was little, he would be in the kitchen with me. And so I believe that his body just gave out because he was so sick. That's what I believe. I believe his heart came out. No, she said that he might have had a mild heart attack or some kind of heart attack. They don't know. But she said there was no distortion on his face to show that he was in pain. But no mother should get that call. No mother. But I had him for 52 years. Hi, how are you? I had him for 52, almost 52 years. We had fun. He was my best friend. Okay. I could tell him anything. He could tell me anything. We saw the Star Wars trilogy together. We saw the Never Ending Story. We went to the movies like once a week. Okay. Um, when the movies was two movies, and stuff like that. I know you do. I know you do, Vern. We cooked together. We went to church. We all went to church together. He sang on the choir. I mean, the love that people have for him just on Facebook alone, because I just put it out there. I just told him, look, I just lost my son, just like I told you all. And the love of the kids from the kids that are now all grown from the choir, um, are all, they're all grown and everything like that. But they were just, it's not stopping. And they're all talking about, what a good guy he was and everything like that. So he was a grown man, but he was still my baby, you know. Yeah. And I just decided I wanted to share the experiences with him. Like I said, we all went to church. That was my house. So they were my rules. So we went to church on Sunday together. Okay. And they sang in the choir. Yeah, he had a nice voice. They sang in the choir. Um, they did what I asked them to do. You know, because their father and I were divorced for many years. Um, I was strict, but I loved them and they knew that. And, it just, I don't know. I don't know if um I don't think that there was anything I could do for him, because I did say, if you're sick, when you need to be taken care of, you can always come here. But I guess I raised my kids to be independent, too independent, apparently. Hey, Ray of Sunshine, how are you? But he could have come here and I would have taken care of him. I would have taken care of him even with my husband. Okay. I would have taken care of them both. But, like I said, I believe that his heart just gave out. So, it's not, I guess I was talking to one of my girlfriends today and I was saying, for those mothers whose kids get shot and stuff like that, it's got to be a whole different ball of wax, because you don't expect for your child to die like that. I didn't expect for my child to die, but he went out with dignity. and that's the one thing that I thank God for is the fact that and he's been shot. Because he had his own security business, so he's been shot. But he lived through that. He lived through an aneurysm. He lives through so many different things, and then his heart just gave out. So, I'm going to come on tomorrow, and I'm going to cook a little bit. Me and Mira Sandy, and hey, Prag Magic, how are you? Yeah, yeah. I raised a gentleman, in a sense. He was his own gentleman, but he's with my mom and his and he's with my dad, who he never met because my dad died when I was a little girl. And he's with his grandfather and his grandmother on his father's side, and one of his brothers on his father's side also. Yeah. He chose to live on his own. He did, but you know what I mean? I offer. You know what I mean? You can't make a grown man come home, you know? But, like I said, yeah, he's with your daddy and he's with Mira saying Mira lost her father quite young, just like I did, my granddaughter. So this family, and he's with his family, and they rejoiced, I'm sure, because I had a little bit of a dream yesterday. I was just laying on the couch, and I was just not the couch, the chair, and I was kind of crying. I mean, I'm not ashamed to cry. You know, um, Crying is not going to bring him back, but they say that crying is good for the soul. And I was just sitting there, and like I was dreaming, but I wasn't dreaming. But I just wanted to see a sign. Yes, it's hard to accept. Oh, it never goes away. My mother's been dead for 41 years. My father has been dead for, let's see, 60 something. Because I'm 70, I'm going to be 74 next month. I think about them all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Mira was 7 years old. I was 8 when her dad passed. And her dad was a really good guy. And so was mine, you know. And he had his YouTube channel, which is Paranormal Hood. And I'm not into all of that, but I supported him because, he wasn't selling drugs, he wasn't drinking, he wasn't, doing any of those kinds of things that parents dread. That was his, YouTube channel. He started out on the radio, and then I think they did radio and YouTube. Oh yeah, I know he will. I know he will because he was always very protective of me and his sisters. But remember, he's got 3 sisters, and I only had one son. And the sad thing about it is, this is his father is also married again, and he had 2 boys, and one of the boys was killed in a car accident. And then now Joey, and now Joey, and his father is devastated. We all are, but he's really, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, they do, they do. Some of my biggest thoughts that I'm trying to work out seem to work out for me when we're sleeping. Really, I didn't know that because I didn't go to the funeral. But yeah, yeah, he's with his little brother. But I thank all of you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart, for just being there for me, because when people have people that really care about them, it's important that you let them know how much you appreciate them, and I appreciate you. Okay. because it's not going to get any easier for me because then there's my husband. And I just looked at him today because he was in the room. He and my granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter, were in the room with me because I was just very upset. I had talked to my oldest daughter, and then I talked to his father. Yeah, he did. He did. And I think it's because, it was just me. At first, it was me, him, and his sister. But I always had my house open to the kids when they sang in the choir. Once a month, I would fix, like dinner for them after church was over, or brunch or whatever, and we would all come to the house of choir and stuff like that, and we would eat and talk and everything like that. I've always worked with kids, so I always kept my foot in the door of where my kids were going. They went different places that I never knew about till later, but all kids do that. All kids do that because I know I did it. His sister's gonna take care of all of that. So when she does, I know that they put a GoFundMe page up, or they're putting one up tomorrow, I believe. I don't know any of the particulars and stuff like that because I'm not there. His sister and his girlfriend are doing that. They're doing that because we want to. He didn't have any insurance, so me and his father are going to take care of all of that. But we want to leave um, his granddaughter and his nieces and his one little great nephew a little bit of something to start them off so that they will remember Joey, and that's the way to do it. So when they do that out, if you want to, I will. I'm my mother's child. Okay, I'm my mother's child, and let me tell you just a couple of things. My mother lived and breathed people. People. We had a nice house, a big house and everything like that. And she shared, I will share the GoFundMe page with you. I'll come on tomorrow once I know what the page is, because like I said, my daughter and his girlfriend are working with that. But really, it is me and his father are gonna pay for the funeral because it's like $3,000 or something like that. So we did half. He wanted to do the whole thing, but I'm like, no, he's my son too. Okay, so we're doing that. But we want to leave his nieces and his little granddaughter, okay, and his his great nephew, you know, something. If it's $500 or whatever, we want to leave them something to remember him, and that's the way to do it because, yeah, I will, and because that's the way to do it because you know we can put that in the bank. The parents can put that in the bank, and they can it can grow. Like little Carter is just, I think he's a year old, Amira. You know what I mean? So he'll have that for, oh, okay. He'll have that when he grows up. And even though he'll never know Joey, okay, he'll know Joey by maybe taking that and going to school, taking whatever money and going to Europe, whatever it is that the kids want to do, because like I said, he left no insurance. So, because he wasn't working. So, but I will share it with you pragmatic and out of mind and everything. And I'm going to go on and do what I got to do. Well, I was just saying, my mother always fed people, always, she fed anybody. She always taught me that no matter what that person is, and we always had homeless among us, and stuff like that, alcoholics, whatever. Whatever, whether he's drinking or something like that, or she's drinking, once upon a time they were like you, a solid person. So we don't know their story. We don't know their backstory. And that's what I have learned. Um, my pastor is one of the nicest people that I know. Okay. And she prayed with me yesterday and everything, and she helped me get through. I mean, it's a heartbreak. I mean, there's no way to get around it. Okay. So for all of you that have family, hold them tight. For all of you, because the one thing that I've learned, tomorrow is not promised to you. That's why I try to live each day like it is my last. And I try to do something good every day, whether it's feed a person, send food to them and stuff like that. That's what I try to do. you know but I need support like yeah, I know. And I need support like everybody else, right? Because I'm a human being. I bleed, and I would have given my life for my son, you know. But I do love them. I love you all. Okay, like I said, we may never meet, but friends, good friends are hard to get. Good friends who share the same compassions that you do, that share the same wants and needs that you do. Mm. Yeah, I need to talk to Smoke King too, because I understand he's really upset. So would one of you, um, I don't know how to do this, but yeah, I'll email you out of mine after. Somehow I'll go on your page. If I don't do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll give you my phone number. You tell Smoke King to please call me, because I hear that my daughter said he's very upset, and I asked her to give me his number, but she's been so busy trying to take care of things because she lives in Boston. I don't. So she's trying to also help his girlfriend. So we'll figure it out, because this is going to be for the next 2 weeks. This is going to be hard for me, but I'm gonna get through it. Okay. Number one, because I know a man named Jesus Christ. And number two, I told him to take the wheel, because I can't do this by myself. I don't think anybody that loses any kind of loved one can do it by themselves. So again, you know, you got to love everybody. And the other thing too is, if you're not speaking to somebody because of some foolishness, apologize. You hear what I'm saying? Apologize. Even if they don't apologize, tell them you're sorry. Hey, Sharon, how are you? No, I'm not coming to Massachusetts. I can't, because I can't leave my husband and he can't travel. Number one. And number two, because my doctor, I don't know whether he'll say yes or no. Oh, you have? Okay. All right, Jilly Bean. Yeah, I will check my Facebook message. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. I am still gonna go on. I'm still gonna cook. I just needed a couple of days. Yeah. I just needed a couple of days to just wrap my head around this and deal with my family, because we have a big family, because we also have an extended family. So his baby sister, who is my husband's daughter, isn't taking it well either. So, we're trying very hard to try to keep it together so that we can put him away nicely. Um, he did, but he, like I said, he's a jokester. He just Betty Whited us, 2 weeks before your birthday. Um, he They did take clothes to him yesterday. They, nice clothes that he would want to wear. And yes. And he Liz's girlfriend went today to make sure that everything was done, because of course I can't be there. So there's some papers and stuff in my email that I'll look over tomorrow. I just couldn't today. And Dilly Bean, I will go on after and look. And I just couldn't today. I just had to chill out for a couple of days and just wrap my head around all of this. And then, of course, like I said, his father's hysterical, because this is his second son that he's lost. And whether we're divorced or not, okay, I hold no malice against that man, okay? And, I mean, and I was really concerned for him, because he was just so upset. I mean, this is a really probably too much for him. But I can only say, for me, I will always grieve, that I grieve for my mother every day. But I will do what I have to do, because I am God's child. Oh, really? Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to have to think of doing something together. Hey, Tosh, how are you? We'll have to pragmatic. We'll think of something to do. Where are you at pragmatic? Are you in Massachusetts or are you somewhere else? We'll think of something to do. Okay, we'll think of something to do for your birthday and Joey's birthday. I'm going to. I know the Smoke King is doing the shows every day, but I'll be on next Thursday. I think me and Lydia are coming on next Thursday to do. Or at least I want to. That's why I want to talk to Smoke King because I want to do just a little bit of something for Joseph for all of his people. That okay, okay. Um, I want to do something next week. So me and Lydia are coming on. Lydia was his something, I forget, administrator. So we'll come on that channel and we'll probably do something. But I do want to get Smoke King's permission. But just know that he okay, real fast, because some people still don't know it, but some people just coming on. He had an operation about 2 years ago, which was diverticulitis. And so that's when they take the bulb and they bring it and put it in the bag and everything. They didn't have to go to the bathroom in a bag and stuff like that and whatnot. When they operated on him to put everything back together again, it just never got better. So Thursday, he, from what we know, okay, because like I said, his roommate found him unresponsive and she called the paramedics and they worked on him. And so she called his girlfriend and when she got there, when they were pronouncing him dead. So we think that he either his heart just stopped or he had a mild heart attack and just his body was just too, because I talked to him last Saturday and I was supposed to call him, like I said, Thursday, but my husband has been in the hospital. He's got congestive heart failure, and stuff like that. And he's not doing good at all. So please pray for him. I've come to grips with the fact, like I said a long time ago, that, you're not here forever. So I try to make the best of everything that I can. So I did, you know, thank you, Sash. I did, you know, try to take care of my husband today and stuff like that. And I've been trying to take care of him. And he's like, no, no, no. Because my granddaughter was here, but she had to study because she's getting ready to graduate soon. Hello, Tina, how are you? And she graduates in 3 months. And she is in biomedicine. And Joey won't live to see it, but he'll see it in heaven. That's how I feel. Because he wanted her to graduate. And she's a smart cookie, so she had to study. So, I mean, we all know that life goes on. So, and he would want it that way. So tomorrow, before the game, because we're getting ready for the game, the halftime thing, because I have to tell you the truth. I never watch it unless the Patriots play. But we had already, and me and Amir and everybody had already set this up. So I'm going to be able to cook. I'll bring you the Korean fried chicken and a couple of other things. And then I'll do some other things this week so that I can also keep busy. That will help me keep busy. And I just, I don't know. I was just thinking when he was a little boy and he and his sister were little. And it's funny because yesterday his sister and I decided, okay, we're going to go to the store and stuff like that and just go shopping just to get her out because she's just completely devastated. And I'm sitting in the car and I'm laughing and she looks at me and she goes, what are you laughing? And I said, I'm thinking about you two fighting. And they had an all-day fight, he and his sister, over a piece of paper. Okay, Mira. And the piece of paper went like this. It was a little piece of paper. Now, mind you, I'm a teacher. I'm retired now, but I was teaching then. And then I, got into school counseling. They're fighting over a piece of paper. I've got notebooks galore. So I stick them both in the corner because by that time they were fighting for about an hour over this piece of paper. And I took the paper, but they're still fighting. It was my piece of paper. No, it's my piece of paper. No, it was my piece of paper. And I'm laughing at this thing yesterday. And so I put them in the corner and I put them in one room and the other room. When I will go out of the room to finish cooking dinner, because it was a Sunday, right? They're back fighting again. And I'm like, if you two don't get in the corner, He breaks her doll's head off. She gets one of his trucks, and he couldn't say truck. He was like fruck, and the fire engine of fruck or something like that, and throws it and breaks it. So they start fighting. So I separate them again. It was all day. All day. I would send them to their rooms and they would still come up. It was still my piece of paper. And I was laughing yesterday because I'm thinking they're little today and they're grown tomorrow. And it's just like my grandchildren, because, they just grew fast. But, and I was telling his father about it because he wasn't home, their father, when I talked to him, because he was so upset that I just told him about it. And then he started laughing. He said, yeah, he said, really and truly, at the end of the day, he was a funny guy. He really, really was. So he's up there making everybody laugh, probably. He should have been a comedian. I don't know why he didn't do that, but he, hey. So I am going to get off. I am going to do there's only a few dishes. Yeah, it does go by quick. I mean, it really, really does. And that's why I say everybody hold on to your kids. Tell them you love them every day. If you have a squabble with somebody, end it. At least you end it. If they don't want to end it, that's fine. But the thing about it is, every day that we don't speak to someone, everyone that love you too, Tosh. Every day that we don't speak to someone, we're hurting ourselves. We're hurting our growth. Okay. And we have to grow. 6 drops. How are you? We have to grow. We have to be. Okay. If you don't forgive others, then that means that you don't forgive yourself, and other people will not forgive you. Everybody is not going to like you. Everybody is not going to forgive you, but that doesn't mean a thing. Okay? Doesn't mean a thing. It's you who has to forgive you. Forgive yourself for whatever has happened in the past. Because the past is dead. You can't go back. You can't go back. You can't go back. Like Lot's wife. When she turned around, it was over. She turned into a pillar of salt. So move forward with love in your heart and compassion and a dream. So many people have dreams that never come to fruition. It's better for you to have a little bit of your dream come out than for you to completely compact your dream back in the back of your head. Yeah. Lot's wife completely turned around, pillar of salt, just like that. That's right. And you surround yourself with good people, not toxic. And don't throw shade. I don't care. My ex-husband and I never got along. Okay, never. Never, ever, 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 ever. And that's why I left him. For years, okay, this is true. For years, I only talked to him when I had to. Now, he did a lot of things and I did a lot of things. The one thing that he did not do that I disrespected was once I left him, I guess that was his way of trying to get me or something like that. He didn't do a whole lot of things for his kids. But I did. So I wasn't worried about it. I heard this man, and he wasn't a preacher in the church, but he was just a man, and he was saying something about we have to forgive people in order to move out of that spot, because if we don't, we're going to stay stuck. And I began to think about it. Okay. And I said, okay, I got it. So in my heart, I forgave him because I didn't see him. And I said, when I see him, I'm going to tell him, look, whatever it is, I forgot about it. Let's move on because we still have children. It wasn't until my son got shot, in the line of duty, that I said, he came to the hospital and everything like that. And I said, since we're here, let's talk. So I talked to him. And I said, look, I'm sorry for whatever I did, whatever I said, or anything like that. but we still have to be their parents, no matter how old they are. You know what I mean? And he said, I guess you're right. So we haven't been friends, but we have been able to be in the room together because we have grandchildren. And when Amira graduated from high school this past June, we were in the room together. And hi, Vern, you still here? Yeah, I know you are. And it was my girlfriend Sandy and I have been friends since kindergarten, and she married my husband's best friend. Okay. When he was in the room with me, Sandy said, "Oh, this is going to be real good." And I said, "No, it's okay." And we got along fine. We didn't get along because of a meal. We got along because I climbed that fence of not being hateful or mean or cruel or things like that. Because I don't care what anybody says. The nicest person in the world can be cruel, especially when somebody does things to you. But you have to put that into perspective, forgive them, and move on. Because it only holds you back. So, yeah, it's true. It's true. So again, you don't surround yourself with when you get toxic people. Vern will tell you that one. When you get a toxic person in your way, move about your way. Many of us don't have the things that we should have because so many of us are looking over our shoulder, looking at what other people have instead of being thankful. First of all, like I told my granddaughter, she'll tell you, be thankful for what you have. If you have a piece of chicken, but you want steak, be thankful for the chicken. The steak will come later. If you're living in a little apartment and you want a house, be thankful for the house. That will come later. If you have a job that you don't really like it. I told my granddaughter the other day, she was doing, I think she's doing physics, and she's having a hard time with it. And I said, the reason why you're having a hard time is because you don't like it. You've got to embrace it, start to like it a little bit, and then love it in order to be able to get over the hump. Once you get over that hump, you'll find that it's not so hard. Yeah, but people do take your kindness for weakness. Yes, of course they do. Yes, of course they do. And when you see that, very quietly just move up out of their way. Let's see what it says. Hold on a second. Yes, honey? Yeah. Okay, hold on a second because I'm on YouTube. I'm getting ready to get off now. So just hold on a second, okay? What's the matter? What really? Okay, well, I've got my daughter is taking care of his funeral arrangements and stuff like that, so I've got to go. But I will come on. Okay. All right, Calabos. Um, you could go if you look on the YouTube page, you'll see what my YouTube channel is. Go to my YouTube channel, and then I can message you. And anybody else that needs to talk to me or whatever. I'm going to have to get off the phone because, like I said, my daughter's on the phone and she's trying to take care of some business for me. I love you all. Take care. God bless. Bye bye. And I'll see you tomorrow. God willing, in the creek don't rise, as I always say. I know you will. Love you.